She stood with her back to the room, her face toward the window. At length, Forestier broke the silence in a gasping voice, heartrending to listen to. "How many more sunsets shall I see? 8, 10, 15, 20, or perhaps 30, no more. You will have more time, you two. As for me, all is at an end. And everything will go on when I am gone as if I were here." He paused a few moments, then continued. "Everything that I see reminds me that I shall not see them long. It is horrible. I shall no longer see the smallest objects, the glasses, the dishes, the beds on which we rest, the carriages. It is fine to drive in the evening. How I loved all that." Again, Norbert de Varenne's words occurred to Duroy. The room grew dark. Forestier asked irritably, "Are we to have no lamp tonight? That is what is called caring for an invalid." The form outlined against the window disappeared, and an electric bell was heard to ring. The servant soon entered and placed a lamp upon the mantelpiece. Madame Forestier asked her husband, "Do you wish to retire, or will you go downstairs to dinner?" "I will go down to dinner." The meal seemed to Duroy interminable, for there was no conversation, only the ticking of a clock broke the silence. When they had finished, Duroy, pleading fatigue, retired to his room and tried in vain to invent some pretext for returning home as quickly as possible. He consoled himself by saying, "Perhaps it will not be for long." The next morning, Georges rose early and strolled down to the beach. When he returned, the servant said to him, "Monsieur has asked for you 2 or 3 times. Will you go upstairs?" He ascended the stairs. Forestier appeared to be in a chair. His wife, reclining upon a couch, was reading. The invalid raised his head. Duroy asked, "Well, how are you? You look better this morning." Forestier murmured, "Yes, I am better and stronger. Lunch as hastily as you can with Madeleine, because we are going to take a drive." When Madame Forestier was alone with Duroy, she said to him, "You see, today he thinks he is better. He is making plans for tomorrow. We are now going to Gulf Juin to buy pottery for our rooms in Paris. He is determined to go, but he cannot stand the jolting on the road." The carriage arrived. Forestier descended the stairs step by step, supported by his servant. When he saw the closed landau, he wanted it uncovered. His wife opposed him. "It is sheer madness. You will take cold." He persisted. "No, I am going to be better. I know it." They first drove along a shady road and then took the road by the sea. Forestier explained the different points of interest. Finally, they arrived at a pavilion over which were these words, "Gulf Juin Art Pottery," and the carriage drew up at the door. Forestier wanted to buy a vase to put on his bookcase. As he could not leave the carriage, they brought the pieces to him one by one. It took him a long time to choose, consulting his wife and Duroy. "You know it is from my study, from my easy see it constantly, and prefer the ancient or the Greek. At length he made his choice. "I shall return to Paris in a few days," said he. On their way home along the Gulf, a cool breeze suddenly sprang up, and the invalid began to cough. At first it was nothing, only a slight attack, but it grew worse and turned to a sort of hiccup, a rattle. Forestier choked, and every time he tried to breathe, he coughed violently. Nothing quieted him. He had to be carried from the landau to his room. The heat of the bed did not stop the attack, which lasted until midnight. The first words the sick man uttered were to ask for a barber, for he insisted on being shaved every morning. He rose to be shaved, but was obliged to go to bed at once, and began to breathe so painfully that Madame Forestier, in a fright, woke Duroy and asked him to fetch the doctor. He returned almost immediately with Dr. Gavin, who prescribed for the sick man. When the journalist asked him his opinion, he said, "It is the final stage. He will be dead tomorrow morning. Prepare that poor young wife and send for a priest. I can do nothing more. However, I am entirely at your disposal." Duroy went to Madame Forestier. "He is going to die. The doctor advises me to send for a priest. What will you do?" She hesitated a moment and then said slowly, "I will go and tell him that the curé wishes to see him. Will you be kind enough to procure one who will require nothing but the confession, and who will not make much fuss?" The young man brought with him a kind old priest who accommodated himself to circumstances. When he had entered the death chamber, Madame Forestier went out and seated herself with Duroy in an adjoining room. "That has upset him," said she. "When I mentioned the priest to him, his face assumed a scared expression. He knew that the end was near. I shall never forget his face." At that moment, they heard the priest saying to him, "Why, no, you are not so low as that. You are ill, but not in danger. The proof of that is that I came as a friend, a neighbor.